welcome to episode 76 of the MastoCast. What is the MastoCast? It's the bloody monoblog podcast hosted by me, Master Dan, Danny Dixon, if you want to just call me that instead. That's fine as well, but here we are. It is episode 76. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a lovely weekend if you're listening to this the Saturday that this is out. And yeah, I wanted to do it on Saturday just to sort of talk about the recent Nintendo Direct that's happened and stuff like that. Just fit that in for this week before the big one. But yeah, hope you're having a lovely weekend. As I look outside, the weather is a bit miserable. It's a bit cold now. Weather's like fucking typical. The week at work, the week I've been at work, it's been boiling outside. It's been lovely, and like it's literally just started being my 4 days off work, and it's chilly. It's shit. The weather outside is poo. Like it's not actually pooing out of the sky, but like it's just crap. It's just crap. But hopefully we get more good weather as we well, I'd like to think so, because it's fucking spring. I just want nice weather, don't we? Hello, welcome to episode 76. But yeah, hope you're having a good weekend, and thanks for listening to the previous episode of the MastoCast. And yeah, we're at 76 now. That's insane. We're getting close to that 100th episode. What the hell am I going to do for that 100th episode? I have no idea. Well, I'm going to have to figure something special out, because I never thought I'd reach that milestone, really. I'm a bit sniffly. I do apologise. Those are my demonic vocals. Right, anyways, what have I been up to? I'll tell you what I have been up to that I would like to chat about, really. So I've just entered like this riff contest thing on Instagram, and I'm not going to win it. I'll tell you now, I'm not going to win it, but I've entered it anyways, and I think it would be cool if people would go onto that post. It's on the MasterDan92 Instagram page. It's basically the latest post that's up. It's of me. I've entered a competition called Thick Riff Thursday. It's by the YouTuber called Nick Broomhall. He's a cool guitarist. Does all these Thick Riff Thursday videos. Every Thursday he makes a new riff, and he's really good. And he's also celebrating his 100th episode. He's just had his 100th episode of Thick Riff Thursday, so he's partnered with Neural DSP to come up with this competition. You win. There's like a third place prize, a second place prize, and a first place prize. And yeah, it's just basically you submit a riff. If they like it, you win. End of. But there's like a top 15 list you get put in anyways, even if you don't, win the prizes. So if you could all do me a favour, I'd really appreciate it. Just go to the MasterDan92 Instagram page and look for the riff that I do. I think it sounds fucking mint. I generally do. And it's not often I say that about my own stuff, but I think it sounds good. And it would be really cool if you like it and comment and stuff like that, and just sort of help boost the algorithm a bit. I think the competition closes on the 2nd of April. So yeah, hopefully we find out. I don't think I will be in the top 15, because there is some serious fucking competition in there. Like, loads of amazing riffers on there. And I think my riff's good, but there's some people who really smash it, like, big time. But you never know. It's always worth a go. So even if it means getting in the top 15, I'd honestly be really happy with myself. If I don't get in the top 15, I'm still proud of my riff. It is what it is. It's just fun at the end of the day. So just a favour, if you don't mind just going to that video, the link is actually in the description of this podcast. So if you go into that, give it a like, and share it if you want, comment if you'd like. Just help get noticed, because there's a lot of people who's entered. I think there's like well over 100 people in there now, and there's still people like submitting like their riffs every day. I know we're on the 29th of March now, and it closes on the 2nd of April. So go a few days away. And that's what I've been up to. Went to see The Monkey in cinemas, which was a fun time, I think. We went to saw it on the off chance, really. I was seeing the trailer for it before, and I like me some Stephen King, and this is a Stephen King one, and I was a bit surprised of how much it ended up being like more like a dark comedy than it was like a horror, really, because that's what I got from the initial trailers when I first started seeing those. Like, I was looking at it thinking, this seems like a serious horror, but like the film like was just more of a comedy, really, and I digged it. I thought it was all right. It was a bit daft in places. Basically about a haunted toy monkey that kills people that surrounded it, and it kills them at random, that type of thing. Cursed monkey doll things similar to what you get with what's that one called about the toy doll? Is it Annabelle? I can't remember. But I thought it was all right. I thought it was quite good. When I watch it again, I don't think I'm asked about it, but it was just it was all right. I generally couldn't think of what else to watch at the cinema at the same time. I know that Mickey 17 is supposed to be really good, but I didn't watch it because I'm an idiot. But yeah, The Monkey's all right. I thought it was quite good. Finished Severance as well. Severance is fucking amazing. I genuinely really enjoyed it. Like the second season has just reached its finale, and I highly recommend anyone watching it. It's on Apple TV, so if you've got that subscription, I do highly recommend giving it a watch. Or if you've got a fucking mint dodgy box thing, do that, because it is really bloody good. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was fucking outstanding. Just great. Just really, really, really great. Highly recommend it. Mad. It's mad as fuck. Very interesting. Quite a cool story to it, I think. Anyway, sorry, I'm very sniffly. Like, I've just woke up and like it's been really cold today, so I'm just like sounds like a lot of Shaw song that. Imagine if I just like put a breakdown on it, like. But really, I've just got phlegm, not phlegm. Sniffly nose. But yeah, that's it. That's really all I've been up to. Video game wise, all I've played is fucking what's it called? All I've played is Red Dead Redemption 2, because it is one of the best games ever. Like, I'm going through this backlog at the moment, and I kind of pressure myself when it comes to the backlog. I don't know why. It seems daft. And I know it's games that are already out, but I always feel like I need to get them done, like, so I can talk about them on the podcast and kind of review them. Because I kind of enjoy, like, doing, like, these, like, game reviews of, old games I've never played of. Like, like I did with Ocarina of Time and, like, Code Veronica, Resident Evil, that sort of thing. And I just got to the point where I was like, it's time to play Red Dead Redemption 2 again. No ifs, no buts. Simple as. We're going to play Red Dead Redemption 2 again, whether I like it or not. And I just sort of went, okay, I'm going to do that. So I think it was as soon as I finished Horizon Forbidden West, which I loved, and I was just like, I'm going to fucking play Red Dead 2. I'm just going to do it. So I'm literally just glued to that at the moment. Nothing else will probably be played until I finish that, which will be a while now, because, Red Dead 2 is a long game, but it's an amazing one. But yeah, where am I at the moment? I'm at the bit where you, like, move to, like, the second campsite. Because, you get found by those law people, and then you gotta evacuate. But it's really great. It's so good. Honestly, I'm sure 99.9% of the people listening have played it, But if you haven't played Red Dead Redemption 2, just play it. If you got a PlayStation 4 or PS5, you can pick it up cheap, man. Like 20 quid, if that. But yeah, that's all I've been playing, really. So nothing new as of yet. Nothing, no new games that came out yet recently either. But yeah, that's what we're gonna go with. Anyway, there was. I'll talk about this now. There was a Nintendo Direct. Literally just about a day or two ago. It was a Nintendo Direct, like just on the normal Nintendo Switch, which we have now. We are having a Nintendo Direct next. Well, as I record this, in 4 days' time, on the 2nd of April, the same time as that competition finishes, that you're gonna like the video on. But yeah, there's another Nintendo Direct, which is going to be the big Nintendo Switch 2, reveal of, I imagine, release date, price, what games are going to be released alongside the specs, all that sort of stuff, but which we'll talk about next week, of course. But there was a Nintendo Direct literally just recently, and it was just focusing on Nintendo Switch 1 games. No mention of the Switch 2 at all. So it's just sort of the remaining stuff that's going to be coming out on it. And the Switch 2 is going to be backwards compatible. So like if you do get a Switch 2, you'll still play these games, which is nice. I wasn't expecting much from this Switch Direct anyways, so it's no surprise to me that it was a bit pants, really. In my opinion, just a fair bit of guff, not a lot. Nothing that really stood out to me. There's a few, which I do like the look of. So it started off with Dragon Quest 1 and 2 remake. There was a Dragon Quest 3 remake that came out, I believe it was last year, like a complete remake of an old game. Like it's like, it does look really nice, to be fair. I've never played any of the Dragon Quest games, but they released 3 first last year, and they released 1 and 2 because 3 was a prequel of sorts. But 1 and 2 remake, they've just said for 2025. And which is another thing about this Direct, which I found quite frustrating, really, and the fact that they are announcing games and ones that have already been announced before as well, and no release date still, like, which I'll get on with. But yeah, just release date 2025. Okay, and like they teased about Dragon Quest 1 and 2 remake like last year at some point, which, it does look good. This one I think looks quite good. Shadow Labyrinth. It's like a Pac-Man spin-off. It's like a dark Pac-Man spin-off. You don't play as Pac-Man himself, but like Pac-Man is essentially like your guide. Like, think of, like Clank from Ratchet and Clank, or the little fairy thing from Zelda, like that. You have a little Pac-Man with you, and you have like little Pac-Man levels here and there. It looks quite cool, actually. Like, I do like the look of it. So that's July 18th, 2025. We got an actual release date there, which is nice. Patapon is coming on the Switch. Patapon and Patapon 2. So I think these were PSP games, if I remember right. Either PSP or PlayStation 3 games. But yeah, it was for the PSP, Patapon. And they're bringing that to the Switch, which is nice. Yeah, Patapon was just for PlayStation, which is cool. And they're bringing that over to Nintendo now. And yeah, I never actually played Patapon, but I know like there was like a whole final level bit on Astrobot from last year. There was like a whole thing about that, but I never actually played it, so I don't know what it's like. But that's quite cool. That's all right. But yeah, I'm literally just talking about some of the I'm literally just going to bring up the stuff that I find is quite cool and quite interesting. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. We basically get another trailer for Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. And it showcases like where you start off, like the whole landscape where you start off at, and like what Samus's abilities are. Like, it turns out she has psychic abilities on this one, which does look really good. Like, this is the best one out of the lot, definitely for me. Metroid Prime 4, I'm very much looking forward to. But again, 2025 release. They've been working on this game for years. Like, it got like am I right in thinking that it was like I think like one of the first Nintendo Switch Directs, like they teased that there was going to be a Metroid Prime 4, and now we're finally getting one. And they showed this off last year, and still no release date, just 2025. So I'd like to think this will be a Nintendo Switch 2 release as well. Whether it'll come out the same time the Switch console does, or a little bit later, might be, late 2025. We don't know. It's just 2025, but it does look cool. I'm very much excited to play Metroid Prime 4. I loved the Metroid Prime remaster that came out a few years ago now. It was really good. It was really, really, really good. I've never played 2 and 3, but I'll definitely be picking up 4 for sure. What else was there? There was Gradius Origins. Like, have you ever played Gradius? It's like the shoot 'em up arcade game from years ago. There's like a Origins like collection, so like there's a good few of the Gradius games and like import versions and stuff like that. Like, that looks quite cool. Just looking at some of the games that I'm not bothered about. Like, there's a new Stories of Seasons game. But it's called Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar. Obligatory cozy farming game, of course. See, I'm looking at the names of these games, and like, even though I watched the Direct quite recently, I can't remember what they look like or anything. Like nothing really sticks out. Like, there's a Tamagotchi game, Tamagotchi Plaza, coming out on June 27th. Monument Valley. Actually, to be fair, the Monument Valley game does look quite good. Kind of looks like Journey. Let's see, there's Marvel Cosmic Invasion. Kind of looks a bit like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That game that came out a couple years ago, Shredder's Revenge. Like, kind of in that sort of thing. Like, arcade, side-scrolling type of thing. Tomodachi Life. A lot of people are very excited about that, but I never played Tomodachi. It doesn't really look like it's for me. Saga Frontier 2 Remaster. Everybody's Golf Hot Shots. This looks pants, really. It's a golf game, but you're not using your Joy-Cons. You have to use the buttons on it. Remember when you had Wii Sports and you'd use the actual Wiimote to play golf with? You're having a laugh. I can't play it like an actual golf game. Nah, not for me. Rhythm Heaven Groove looks pants. That's 2026. Disney Villains Cursed Cafe, again, looks pants. Yeah, nothing on there. Like, the only thing that was on there that I was like, I got to get that on day one is Metroid Prime 4. The rest, I'm just sort of like, looks good. Looks okay. Like, but like I say, I wasn't expecting much on this Direct, because we've got the big Nintendo Switch 2 Direct, like, less than a week's time. But Metroid Prime 4, bring it on. I just want to release it. I think I'm more disappointed because we have got a set in stone release date for Metroid Prime 4, and everything else was just like 2025, 2025, 2025. And like, with the odd exception of a few games coming out in June, July this year. Like, literally, as I look, there is it's like 3 games that have got a release, an actual set in stone release date. And that's it. That is it. But yeah, there was another couple of things that they announced as well. There's this whole virtual game card feature that's going to be out on the Switch, which comes via a system update and late April. So there's got to be a different way in which you saw your digital games that you've bought on the eShop. And like, there's ways, like if you have more than one Nintendo Switch, and there's ways of storing them between like one and another, which I find quite confusing, because I thought, like, if you've got a Nintendo Switch account and you're using both Switches, if you got two of them in your household, I thought you would just do that anyways. You just download and that'll be that. But one cool thing about it though, which I do like, is that you are able to lend out your digital copies, which I think is quite cool. I think that is like quite a cool thing. So I don't know, say if you've got a digital download of Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Say if you got that, and you played through it, you finished it and stuff, and say like you got a friend who is dying to play it, and but they're not sure about buying it yet or whatever. Just you can send them your virtual card of Super Mario Bros. Wonder, send it to them, and they can have it for up to 14 days, I believe it is. I can't remember if it was 2 weeks or it was 3 weeks, but I think it's 14 days, and once that 14 days is up, that game gets sent back over to you. So like they can't play it anymore. You've got the game card back, and you can play it at your leisure again. So if you're on the other end of the spectrum and you've lent the game off someone, and you didn't have to shell out any money, you could potentially, if you hammer it for 2 weeks, finish the game, and like you had a free game there. Or you could turn around and be like, you know what, I like that game. I'll like, say if someone's lent you like Seas of the Kingdom or something like that, like a really long one, and 2 weeks isn't going to cut it, so you turn around and you say, well, I like that, I think I'll go buy it, but you still got all your saved data from when you lent it, which I think is quite cool. So that's pretty alright. There's a Nintendo app now you can now download for Apple, Android, well, basically for your smartphone, and it's called Nintendo Today, and it's just an app basically to sort of like keep you updated with all things Nintendo stuff, like when Nintendo Directs are going to be scheduled, or when there's going to be like events going on in certain countries, like the Switch 2, like hands-on experiences, and like when certain games are going to be released and that sort of stuff. I've got it downloaded it, and there's not a lot at the moment, but like it's apparently there's going to be like sort of daily updates on stuff about the new Switch and that sort of thing, and like you'll probably find out stuff like deals and stuff like that sort of thing. So if you fancy that, you got it. And that's the Nintendo Direct from the 27th, so literally 2 days as I'm recording from now. It was a bit, like I say, I wasn't expecting much from it. The big one is next week, which I will talk about on this whole podcast. But yeah, that's it really for in terms of video games. Yeah, that is it. That is bloody it. I'll talk about a couple of albums and that sort of thing, and some music shit. There is a new album from Coheed and Cambria and Clipping, which I'm going to talk about. So I'll talk about Coheed and Cambria first. So this album I've been listening to for the past week or so, past couple of weeks. Because the last episode I did on the podcast, I turned on and said like I have been listening to it, but I need more time with it, and I've had a bit more time with it. And Coheed and Cambria, legitimately one of my favourite bands. I absolutely love Coheed and Cambria. I just think they're so unique in what they do, of how they manage to be this progressive metal stroke emo punk band. Like, it's just a real cool melding of genres, I think, and they just do it ever so effortlessly. And I remember I did the what's it called? The top 5 albums of all time episode with Jake, and Good Apollo and Burning Star was in there. I believe it was my number. Was it my number 5? I think it was my number 5, and like that is a 10 out of 10 album, one of my favorite albums of all time. And they just keep shitting out mint albums. They're just really, really, really great, and they're going to be playing 2000 Trees, which I'm very, very excited to see them at. And yeah, all their albums have this sort of like story behind it, like a concept. All of them do. They've got a lot of albums out now, probably about 10 albums, and they've all got a concept behind. The only one that didn't have a concept behind was The Colour Before the Sun, which came out in 2015, and that was like an album where they just turned around and went, "We're just gonna write bangers," and they did very successfully. And this one is part of the Vaxis trilogy, which has been going out for the past 3 releases. So we have as part of the Vaxis series, we have the first one, which is the Unheavenly Creatures, which came out in 2018. Fantastic album, really, really great. Long one. It's about an hour and it's like an hour and 20 minutes. But there's some fucking unreal songs on there. And there is Vaxis 2, which came out in 2022, which is amazing. Incredible album. Vaxis 2, A Window of the Waking Mind, which is 53 minutes long, but that's got like some real big songs on, like Liars Club and Beautiful Losers, Comatose and Shoulders, just most amazing choruses ever. Like it's a brilliant album. And now we have The Father of Make Believe, which is out now, the third of the Vaxis trilogy. And yeah, I do not know anything about this concept. I don't know anything about the other concepts that they do within the early stuff. Like even with Good Apollo, I'm a Burning Star, Through Fear of the Eyes of Madness of Volume 1. That's the full album title, I believe. Like one of my favourite albums ever. Do I fucking know what's going on with that story? All I know is that the songs are incredible. And they do it again with this. The Father of Make Believe is another brilliant Coheed and Cambria album. I absolutely love it. And I think the reason why I don't look at them as like a conceptual type thing, why I don't look into the stories that much, is that the songs themselves just all sound like some of the best singles you hear. Like it doesn't. I always find like it doesn't feel like if that makes sense. Like the songs don't like sort of meld into each other like you would like on The Wall by Pink Floyd or the Nostradamus by Judas Priest. Why did I just use Nostradamus by Judas Priest as an example? Wow. Like songs that sort of like flow from one another, because you don't really get that. But yeah, this album opens with Yesterday's Lost, a beautiful piano-led track, sung by the gorgeous vocals of Claudio Sanchez, just being absolutely serenaded to fuck. And serenaded to fuck, that's one for you all. Then into Goodbye Sunshine, which is just like a heavenly, beautiful song. Like, goodbye, sunshine. Like, that's my best Claudio Sanchez impression for you there. But that was one of the singles coming in to the album. The Searching for Tomorrow, which was another single that came out just before the album came out. Like, the lead guitar work on this is really awesome. Like it's got like this sort of arpeggio like scale thing that's going like he plays this while singing as well. Like if you watch his Instagram page, like he's like just going through the songs like in his bedroom, like just him and his guitar, and he's singing along to like he's singing this like this vocal melody whilst playing this guitar arpeggios like while he's going, you're so convincing. You know. Yeah, Searching for Tomorrow is brilliant. It's really, really, really great. The Father of Make Believe, just like really, really epic, really soaring, like just bursting with color, and like it's the title track of the album. It's a real cool like 4-track in belt out chorus type thing. Blindside Sonny, that was like a single that came out quite early on. I think that was a single that came out before the album was even announced, and that was like it's like a proper heavy rager, like probably only about under 3 minutes long. It's got this really cool sort of rock and roll sort of like lead line, like that goes over the top, like but like it's like a really sort of heavy punky sort of like fast rage, and Claudio goes for this more sort of heavy vocal approach, like where he's screaming and stuff, like blind, we are blind, yeah, give us sun. Like it's like really, really sort of like just really cool and punky, and like that sort of like goes into Play the Poet, which I think is a brilliant track. Probably my favourite on the album. Play the Poet is like how it goes from Blindside Sonny into Play the Poet, like from this like sort of almost like Eyeless Bass Slipknot like drum break into it. Like it just works effortlessly well, and like it's just got like this sort of mosh call into like a halftime beatdown. Well, not beatdown, but like a breakdown of some sorts. Like you know, they're not doing like a fucking Hatebreed breakdown or anything like. It's just like just how it all just drops into like this heavy riff, and like he's gone back to his screaming again and that sort of stuff. One Last Miracle, like it's just like one of those ultimate ballad songs by Coheed. Like, you know, Coheed are just really fucking good at doing ballads. They are really, really good at doing ballads. And at the end of the album, you get a 4-part sort of suite, really. It's called the Continuum. Continuum 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 separate tracks. And they are really good at doing that as well. They're fucking great. The Continuum is all over the place. It's when they get the most proggy, like when it kicks in, it sounds like Slayer. Like how it's got like those sort of evil, diminished sort of lead lines to start off with, and like it just goes all over. Like it is an amazing like 4-part suite, and this band just never miss. They just never miss. I flipping love Coheed and Cambria, and I always will do. Ever since I discovered them on Good Apollo and Burning Star in 2005, 20 years later. Fucking hell, has it really been that long? Jesus. 20 years, fuck me. Yeah. I've been a big fan of this band for 20 years. I didn't realise that until I just thought about it now and there and then. Jesus Christ. Still, amazing albums. I think I prefer the last one, though. I think I prefer Vaxxus 2 to this third one. The last one, I think I think it was a bit more instantaneous. And like those songs are just like burnt into my eardrums, like because they are. I think it's just a little bit more catchy. I think the songs are just a little bit stronger. But having said that, Fire and Make Believe is still really good. Like I say, Vaxxus 2 was like a 9 out of 10. The Fire and Make Believe is like an 8. I'd probably say that much. Because yeah, it did take me a bit of time to like properly get into this album, but once like it got a tux in me, I'm in for the Coheed ride, baby. Always am, and I really can't wait to see these 2000 Trees. I've seen them before. I've seen them 3 times, and all 3 times have been a download. So I've seen them in 2010 when they had the Black Rainbow out, and they played the second stage download. Then I saw them in 2015 when they played the second stage again at Download, but it was the 10-year anniversary of Good Apollo and Burning Star, and you better believe I was fucking buzzing for that. That was really good. And then the last time was at Download 2022? Or was it 23? It was 2023. It was when they had the big 4-day one. And they headlined the third stage on the back of Vaxxus 3. Vaxxus 2, the last album. And that was absolutely stunning. Like neck and neck with the 10-year anniversary of Good Apollo show that I saw at Download. But this is going to be the first time I see Coheed with like a headline set, full production, all that sort of stuff. So I'm very excited to see them. Absolutely buzzing to see them. Coheed and Cambria, the father of make believe. Give it a listen. Just give it a listen. Listen to them, love them, then listen to every other bloody album that they've done because they are amazing. And yeah, that's that. So I'll talk about them again when it comes to the 2003's review, I'm sure. But I'm going to chat a little bit about an album that I think is very interesting to have a go at, and for a lot of people, really, in terms of hip hop and heavy music in general. And that is the new album by Clipping. And this album is amazing. It's amazing. So Clipping, if you don't know who they are like a hip hop group which is led by what's his name again? David Diggs, who is the man behind the rapping, and also produces William Hudson and Jonathan Snipes. And I go back with the last couple of Clipping albums because they released these two amazing albums a year apart from each other around Halloween time. They've been given this sort of horrorcore label. Because the music's quite scary. Like, if you go back to those two albums, and they've got the Visions of Bodies Being Burned, and they became what's that album called? It's really annoying me now. I'm gonna have to fucking type it in on Apple Music. It's something to do with blood. I know that much. The last album that came out before this one is called Visions of Bodies Being Burned, and the other one is called There Existed an Addiction to Blood. That's the one. So that one came out in 2019, and the other one literally a year later. And yeah, like I said, they've been given this horrorcore label. Both these albums got released round about Halloween time. They're very dark, quite scary, like visually very sort of like, like just stunning albums. They are incredible. Like, the producers do unbelievable work to make them sound like nothing before. And I think David Diggs, the rapper, and this is quite a bold statement for me, like for anyone really. I think David Diggs is one of the greatest MCs, rappers to live at this moment in time. From what I hear, I think he's up there with fucking Kendrick. I think this man is fucking amazing. He's flawless. This guy's flow is way of it's hard to explain. Like his way of like putting you in that sort of like mindset and making you feel something, and like his sort of like punctuation of words. Like, I think he just does an amazing job of it. And the only way, it's hard for me to explain. It's something you got to really listen to be honest, and then you'll know. And he is just like technically brilliant. I think what sets him like quite different to Kendrick, I think with Kendrick you get a bit more emotional sort of like you get more emotional rawness from Kendrick, as well as his amazing flow, his amazing technique and all that sort of thing. But I think David Diggs has got like this sort of technique thing down to an absolute T. Like, he does, like the way he like goes from fast to slow to his punctuations, and sort of doing like a jump scare within his rapping, that sort of thing. And he just sounds cool as well. He sounds cool as fuck. But anyways, enough waffle about the last two albums. I'm here to talk about the new one. So the new one, the reason I go on about it being Halloween and all that is because this new one has just come out. Obviously, in March. The album's called Dead Channel Sky. and and like I said, I'm used to these albums coming out in October because they're usually more horror orientated. Whereas this one is a bit more experimental. It's more like an experimental hip hop type thing. There's a little bit of darkness in this album, but I think the focus is more on like the experimentation and like the production side of things. It's. I'll be honest, I'm finding a hard time to sort of go track by track about what I'm hearing and stuff, and what you'll get out of this. If I could just say, listen to this album on, just take my word for it. I know that sounds like a cop out for a review, but like I've listened to this album a bunch and I love it. I think it's great. I think it's genius, and I think I'm finding hard time to describe the sounds and everything. Is because, I'm not a producer in the sense of, making electronic music or coming up with samples and all that sort of stuff. But it's very glitchy. It's very technical. It's all over the place. But very organic sounding as well. Like there's nothing generic about it at all. It's just all like if you melded like this whole cauldron of Aphex Twin and Massive Attack and just absolute grindy, horror-y sort of music, you'll get clipping. And yeah, maybe I need more listens to it. Even though I've given it a lot of listens to it before, like I've been sort of trying to make like mental notes in my head about this. I do with every release, to be honest, but I think with this, it's a bigger fish to handle, really. Like, if you like hip hop that is very forward thinking, that is all over the place, fronted by an MC who is just outstanding, like technically, and this album's for you, man. Like, this album is fucking brilliant. Like, it's so good. I think I prefer the ones before, because I think this is like a step in a different direction, whereas the horrorcore ones, like, they're just genuinely quite freaky at times. But yeah, this is a hip hop trio unlike any other. I believe they're touring, and I would like to see them. So yeah, that's clipping, and yeah, that's it, I believe, for today. Venga Boys are playing Download. Be excited for that. There's going to be a 2003's announcement next week, so hopefully that should be out before I record the next week's podcast. So next week's podcast is going to be a big one, I believe. So yeah, thanks very much for listening. I appreciate you all, and hope you enjoy the albums that I just recommended to you. They're really good, and I hope you've had a nice time chilling, listening to me trying to review an album which I couldn't do very well. Yeah, take care. Have a lovely weekend, and happy Mother's Day to all the lovely mothers, which is this Sunday. You're rocking it. Shout out to my mum. She's wicked. She's awesome. And yeah, take care, folks. Love you. Bye. Don't forget to vote. No, not vote, sorry. Don't forget to like the video. That's in the description of the podcast, the Thick Riff Thursday from our Instagram. And yeah, it'll be cool to be in the top 15. What can I say? I don't know what it's going to be judged on or whatever. I think it's just the best